You think because the calendar says 60, you must accept the weakness? You wake up and the legs feel heavy, like you are walking through the wet sand. The white coat looks at his paper and says, Sarcopenia. He uses the Latin to make you feel small, to make you feel broken. It means the flesh is leaving the bone. But you listen to me now. You think the only way to fix the house is to lift the heavy iron until the veins pop, or to eat the dry powder from the plastic jar. You are foolish. The answer is not in the chemist's shop. It is in the garden. There are fruits, forgotten things that carry the tools to fix the walls and clean the rust. They hold the fire for the furnace and the broom for the dust. You have forgotten them, but they have not forgotten you. The first one is the date. You look at it and you say, Nonna, this looks like the wrinkled finger of a dead man. You judge by the eyes, not by the stomach. This is why you are weak. This little brown fruit is not just sugar. It is the coal for the furnace. The white coat will say glucose and fructose, boring words for the books. I tell you, it is the clean fire. The white sand you put in your coffee, that is the flash paper. Poof! And then the cold ash. The date burns slow. It keeps the house warm all day. And when the leg jumps in the night, when the muscle twists like a snake, that is the body crying for the earth's salt. The date quiets the screaming muscle. It tells the leg to sleep. It is the worker who fixes the electrical wires in the walls. But the date does more work than this. Inside the body there is the rust. You do not see it, but you feel it, the knee that does not bend, the shoulder that screams when you reach for the high cup. The white coat calls it oxidative stress. Bah! It is rust on the gate. If you do not scrape it, the gate stays shut. The date brings the wire brushes, the antioxidants, to scrape the pipes clean. It fights the rot that eats the muscle. And listen, the meat you eat, the steak, it sits in the stomach like a heavy stone if you do not have the helper. The date has the vitamin B6, the little hammer that breaks the stone so the body can use it. Without the hammer, the stone is just a weight. With the hammer, the stone becomes the new wall for your house. Now, look at the pomegranate, the red crown. You cut it open and it bleeds red juice. This is the signature of God. It tells you what it is for. It is for the river that flows in your veins. As the house gets old, the pipes get narrow. The sludge builds up. The blood moves slow, like cold honey. The oxygen does not get to the muscle, so the muscle starves and withers. The white coat gives you the poison pill to thin the blood. I give you the pomegranate. It opens the floodgates. It makes the pipes wide again. When the river flows strong, the life reaches the cold toes and the weak knees. It washes away the soreness. You walk to the market, and you do not feel the pain the next day because the river has washed the waste away. It is the plumber for the body. But the red crown does not stop at the river. It builds the ropes that hold the bridge. The white coat talks of collagen and sells you the expensive cream for the face. Foolishness. The collagen is the glue in the joints, the rope that connects the muscle to the bone. Without the vitamin C from this fruit, the rope dries out. It frays like old twine in the sun. Then snap, you fall. The pomegranate makes the rope wet and strong again. It is the oil for the hinge. And the breath? You walk up the stairs and you puff like the old steam train. This is because the fire has no air. The fruit brings the nitrates, the bellows for the fire. It helps the body use the air better. You do the same work, but the heart does not hammer against the ribs like a trapped bird. Now look at the grapes. No, not the green bags of sugar water, the dark ones, the color of the bruised sky. These are the medicines. Inside your cells, there are the little candles. The scientist calls them mitochondria. When you are young, the flame is tall and hot. Now it flickers in the wind. The house gets cold. You feel the tiredness in the afternoon, the heavy eyes. The dark grape carries the shield, the resveratrol. It protects the candle. It feeds the wick so the flame burns steady. It is the spark plug for the old engine. You eat the grape, and the car starts in the cold morning without the coughing. The energy comes back, not like the coffee that shakes the hands, but like the sun that warms the stone wall. It is the deep heat for the muscle. The grape is also the well in the desert. You are dry, old one. You look at your skin. It is like the parchment paper. You drink the water, but it runs through you like a sieve. The muscle needs the water to slide, to move. When it is dry, it tears. The grape is full of the living water. It holds the moisture in the meat of the leg. It keeps the muscle soft, not hard like the wood. And the bone? The house sits on the pillars. If the pillars crumble, the roof falls. The grape brings the vitamin K, the cement for the stone, and the pain in the knuckles, the rust that locks the fingers. The grape brings the water to put out the fire. It washes away the heat. You throw away the aspirin, you eat the fruit, and the hands move again. Then there is the fig. You see it dried in the box and you turn away. You want the cake. This is why the belly is hard and the arms are soft. The fig is the broom for the kitchen. The white coat says digestion. I say, if the kitchen is dirty, how can you cook the strength? If the gut is blocked with the glue of the white bread, the body cannot take the good things from the food. The fig sweeps the floor. It opens the door so the strength can enter the blood. And the cramp, the leg that twists in the night and wakes you with the scream? The fig has the calcium and the magnesium. One pulls, one pushes, like the accordion. Without the music, there is only the noise of the pain. The fig teaches the muscle the rhythm again. Now we look at the pineapple. You see the rough skin, the spikes, and you think it is too much work. You are lazy. This is the yellow pine cone from the islands. Inside it holds the secret weapon the white coat calls bromelain. To me, it is the eater of rust. When the knee is the size of a melon, when the shoulder burns like the fire, this is the swelling. The doctor gives you the pill that destroys the stomach. The pineapple eats the bad protein that causes the swelling. It cleans the joint from the inside. If you do not eat it, the inflammation stays. It sits there, like the wet rot in the wood, making the muscle soft and useless. You eat the fruit, and it scrubs the joint clean, so the hinge moves without the scream of the rusted metal. But the yellow pine cone does not just scrub the floor, it builds the walls. It is full of the vitamin C. You think this is only for the sniffles? Bah! It is the mortar for the bricks. It makes the collagen. Without the collagen, the muscle tears off the bone like the old wallpaper. The pineapple also brings the manganese. This is the coal for the deepest furnace in the cell. It gives the energy to repair the damage. And the juice? It is the sweet water of life. After you walk the hills, the body is dry. The pineapple puts the water back into the meat of the leg. It stops the cramping before it begins. You treat the body like the temple, not the dry shed. Then there is the prune. You wrinkle your nose. You say, Nonna, that is for the toilet. You are a child. You do not understand the power of the black stone. The muscle needs the bone to hold it. If the pillar rots, the roof falls. This is the twin curse. Sarcopenia takes the meat, and osteoporosis takes the stone. The prune fights both. It has the boron and the vitamin K. These are the hardeners. They make the bone dense, like the granite of my island, not porous, like the chalk. If you fall, you want to bounce, not shatter. The prune puts the shield around the bone so the muscle has a strong place to stand. You ignore it, and you become fragile, like the dried leaf. The prune is also the master of the pipes. Yes, it moves the bowels, but listen to why. If the gut is stopped, if the sewer is backed up, the body is poisoned. You eat the steak for the strength, but if the gut is dirty, the body cannot take the protein. It passes through you, wasted. The prune cleans the lining. It sweeps the mud away so the absorption happens. It lets the potassium and the calcium enter the blood. It is the difference between eating and nourishing. You can eat the gold, but if the door is shut, you starve. The prune opens the door. It quiets the stomach and feeds the blood. Do not disrespect the wrinkled fruit. It does the work you are too proud to do. Finally, the pear. You walk past it for the shiny apple with the wax on the skin. Mistake. The pear is the green bell that rings for the muscle. Inside, it has the flavonoids. You do not know this word? It is the shield against the wind. The muscle fibers are like the threads in the old wool sweater. The wind and the moths pull them apart until there is only a hole. The pear stops the wind. It kills the moth. It keeps the thread tight and strong against the winter. And the fire? The swelling that burns the knees like the hot iron. The pear brings the water to cool the embers. The polyphenols calm the angry red skin inside the body. You eat the chemical pill for the pain. But the pear does the work without the tax on the liver. It quiets the noise in the house so you can sleep without the groaning. The green bell is also the builder. It brings the vitamin C for the collagen. This is the glue that holds the chair together. If the glue dries, the leg falls off and you hit the floor. The pear keeps the glue wet and sticky. And the copper, this is the pipe for the air. It carries the breath to the deep, dark muscle where the blood is slow. If the fire has no air, it dies. The copper feeds the furnace. And again, the fiber. The pear is the rough broom made of twigs for the gut. If the stomach is a swamp, the strength sinks into the mud. The pear drains the swamp. It lets the body take the good things, the meat, the stone, and use them. It is simple, yes, but the simple things build the strongest walls. You want the fancy magic. I give you the stone and the mortar. So now you see. The white coat gives you the paper with the scribbles. I give you the garden, the date for the furnace, the pineapple to eat the rust that locks the gate, the pomegranate to open the river that has dried up. These are not snacks for the child. They are the iron tools for the repair. You think you can eat the cake and sit in the chair and be strong? Pah! You are dreaming. You must put the fuel in the engine, but you must also drive the car. The fruit is the brick. You must be the mason who mixes the sand and the water. You eat the fruit, you walk the steep hill, you carry the heavy bag of soil. The muscle listens to the work, not the wish. You treat the body like the old donkey. You feed it well, you work it hard, and it carries you to the end. You have the map. Now, do not put it in the drawer and forget. The rust does not sleep. It waits for you to close your eyes. The wind does not stop blowing against the window. You must build the wall every day, brick by heavy brick. If you want the strength of the oak, you eat the fruit. If you want to be the dust, you eat the candy. It is your choice. I have told you the truth. Now, if you are not a fool, you will press the button with the thumb. You will tell the neighbor. You will write the words below so I know you are not sleeping in the chair. Do not make me come there and show you the wooden spoon. Go now. Fix the house before the roof falls in.